cute my hair is. This is inspired by Bretman Cross. What the am I okay? Hi everyone. Fairly excited for today's stream because we got our beloved Jojo, and I don't know. I've been hyping this up for like centuries, right? So who's surprised at this point? I love your hair. Thank you so much. It's inspired by Bretman Rock, and I was on his Instagram, and I was like, wow, what is that? As a disclaimer, today is going to can become very heavy, and that's the beauty of today's show. However, I do recognize that it can be very sensitive. So if you're the dumb that asks or like that takes pieces from today's conversation and ask it in very insensitive places, I will fight you. Okay? You don't have to worry about Joe's manager or anyone. 'Tis I, her bodyguard. Try to say this for all folks because, again, we want to make sure that everyone is respected in their response, in their ability to share, and in that vulnerability. And if you take advantage of that, just know it will be me that you will have to deal with. But thank you so much, everyone. With that being said, let's go say hello to Jojo. I'm so excited. Guys, I even reset this one up because of Joey. Okay, let's introduce Jojo. Look! Oh my god. Hi! Say hello, Joe. Would you like a moment?
Hello,
Okay.
hello.
Yes. I'm dead at the setup.
There you go. There
The
you go.
production. This is what we're here for.
Yay!
I love the nuggies. I just saw your food.
Oh yeah, no, I added. I was like, I got excited. I was like, I'm gonna add stuff on here.
I love this so much. Okay, so for those who don't know, you haven't been watching my stream, but let's have Jojo like introduce herself. Go for it.
Hello, hi. My name is Jo. My pronouns are she, her. I stream Apex, Valorant, art. I also do commissions as well. And
Are they open?
Yeah, they're closed right now. But you know whose is open?
Hey, yo!
Not her eating the mic.
It's my air horn.
I love you.
I've been streaming. I've had affiliate for 2 years as of April 8th. I did start streaming, I believe, the February before. So February 2020.
Yeah.
I used to be an IRL
February.
streamer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after my 1 year, I believe I started getting more into VTubing. So once I found out how to do that, I was like, huh, like I could start VTubing more often. And then I started doing streams more often, more consistently. It started to die down a little bit more, but I feel like I might be streaming a lot more now for, the stuff that are going on now. So yeah.
Yes. Okay, so like what has changed?
I got a new job.
And to that, I wanted you to say it. Ikimasu, everyone. Take a shot.
Cheers. Ooh, that's a good question. I think for me, I personally want to meet actually I think she's my great grandma. I'll call her like Lola Lily. So she actually was there. I was one of the first born girls on my dad's side. And so like I heard that she was super excited, and like I think I didn't get to meet her because I think when I turned 1 she had passed away. She's fairly old, but I heard she was pretty cool. So I've always wanted to meet her. Very sweet person.
Yeah. Was there something that like stuck out from her that you really wanted to like, this is why I want to meet you?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just the way that my Lola is, my great grandma. There's like 4 Lolas that are under her, and so she's like, they're all 4 of them are really different in terms of personality, but they're all very, I guess, like well off and like respectable people. They're all really kind in a way too. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I really want to learn like where this came from, because it's usually you get these personalities and the way your work ethic is sometimes from your parents. So, I was like, I wish I got to meet her.
Oh,
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's definitely trying to see like where your roots are from, and like how that kind of is
Yay.
generational in a weird way.
Exactly. No, yeah.
Just I'm kind of on the same page. Like I love my grandma. I want to meet her when she's like when she was my age.
See that I
Mm,
think that is a better way to adjust that answer. Yeah. I want to meet my great grandma when she was my age to
right?
see like where she was in life and like what stuff she was going through. So mind or body of a 30-year-old. Honestly, I think
Oh,
I would have a body of a 30-year-old.
body,
Just
really?
because yes, I get this inspiration from my dad actually. So my dad I've seen through pictures, like he's gone through a lot. And as he's
Mm.
getting older, my dad is actually like getting a lot more active and a lot more like
Eh?
yeah, like my dad's crazy. So he does outrigger bowling or
That's
rowing.
crazy.
Outrigger rowing. Yeah, he's crazy, dude. This dude's bat insane. He does like like 17-hour shifts, and then whenever he has time, he'll do like outrigger rowing. He does like mountain biking now, and this man's is like past like well he's past 40. I won't say how old he is, but it's like
He
it's
an old
crazy because it's like
bitch. Yeah.
like dad, you need to take care of yourself because like what's it's a thought in the back of my mind like what is gonna happen, but it's so cool because it's like I would want to keep doing stuff like that.
Yes.
Like I haven't gone outrigger rowing yet, which is like the really long canoes like out in the deep ocean water,
Yeah. Blah,
which
blah,
is
blah.
really neat, right? It's so pretty. So there's
Mm.
like that. Like I've never gone mountain biking. I have never there's so many places that I want to go hiking. And if I'm able to do that with a younger body, then by all means, I'm up for it.
But you said you want the 30-year-old's body.
Is that what I said? Oh god,
Yeah.
did I go in a circle? Wait, no, yeah, but I have because
Because
does it
of your
depend?
dad's like
Does that
strength
mean
at 30.
yeah, my dad, yes,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah.
I think
Mm.
like 30 is so much. I would rather have the 30-year-old mind than the
Mm.
body, you know?
What is your reasoning for why would you have
The
the
mind.
mind? Mm.
My mentality regarding that is that like you know how difficult my childhood has been, right? So like
Mm.
my body is deteriorating. So like I think in my 30s, 35, that's when like I'll be a vegetable. If I can get the body of a 20-year-old, the mind of a 30-year-old, I think that's what I am right now, Joe. I'll be honest with you. Nothing has changed. It's just sorrow. I don't know. So I feel like my body would deteriorate by like mid 30s. And so like I would prefer having not the mentality, but the lived experiences of my 30s in my 20-year-old body.
I think a big one for me is like there's like a personal extent that I had with friendly banter with people
Mm.
that I have known for a while and people that I have not known for a while. I can take a
Mm-hmm.
joke when it comes to someone that has showed affection and has showed that they have respected me, like from me
AKA
knowing them
Kai.
from like yes,
Me.
yeah, time. So from like now and then like now, it's like you can make fun of me because I know it's a joke. I
Yes.
understand that. But if it's someone that just walks in and makes fun of me, it's like, no, you don't have the right to do that. Like I can take a joke, but
Mm.
I can't take a joke when it's from someone that I had barely met.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as you should.
Mm.
A joke is mutual. If it's one way, that's an assault.
Yeah, no, it really is. And it's so irking. I think a common thing that I've seen too is from streaming FPS games and you have someone walk in and be like,
Ah.
they're like, Joe, you have to hit the target. I'm like, you just walked in here and you're insulting my like FPS stuff. I'm gonna need you to take us a couple of steps back and like chill for a second. Cause
Yeah,
it's like
what's your
I
ego?
had just at you. Like I'm like, hello?
Who are you to say anything? Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my god. And I feel like there's not a lot of them, but when they do hit you with that question, you're like, who the are you? What do you think you are?
Exactly. And
Oh
it's like
god.
When we get to that level, we'll get to that level, but you
Mm.
just need to chill for a second,
Don't
'cause
assume that. That's one thing too.
yeah.
Because, like,
Mhm.
oh, sorry, I'm gonna read chat here. I set some boundaries
You're
today and felt cringe, but it's worth it. Exactly. Be setting your boundaries, if you're not accustomed to it, will feel fucking cringe. You're gonna feel uncomfortable. You're gonna be like, dude, they hate me, XYZ. Okay? But if they truly cared about you, they're just very thankful that you shared your boundaries.
For me, I feel like that pertains a lot to like my mental capacity.
Mm.
So my ableness to be able to support someone at the time that that they need it.
Mm.
So like let's say I'm having a good day, right? And I willing to, help boost up someone that, let's say, my capacity is very it's on a low side that day. So that means like I'm able to support someone if they really need it. And then like on days that, like, let's say I had a really bad day, right? I'm not really feeling it, and that's where I would be high capacity, as in like I'm not able to assist anyone right now. But when in the case
Mm.
that I need to, like, I can always come back to them like another day if they really need it. But like I am not
Mm.
mentally capable of like reaching my hand out at that day, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I got that a lot from, I used to sit in, actually, in a lot of podcasts on Twitch, and I feel like I kind of grabbed that concept from there. It was an old one too, and I realized too that this also goes back to boundaries. Also, that um, you don't need to take in people's venting and stuff if you're not able to.
True.
um, yeah, because it gets tiring for you, right? There's actually a game on Steam called Kind Words,
Mm.
and I realized that there was one time that I streamed it a long time ago where people can put very heavy things in
Yes.
those games. And so to
Hi,
an
what the
extent,
fuck?
that game
Mm-hmm.
that game is very taxing, because it's like
Yes.
you're gonna read things that, like, people, yeah, like, I cheated on my person, like, the other day, and you're like, "Oh my god, like, how do I take this?" Like, I love
Yeah.
giving nice words, but it's like, how do I take this? And then another one would be like, "Oh, someone really close to me died," and all the things, like, back and forth.
Mm.
It's like I have only so much, like, light in myself that I kinda need, to keep it for myself today,
Yeah.
like, yeah. And so it's very interesting. Yeah, that's where I got capacity from.
And I think learning your capacity is just another form of self-care, honestly. Like, I have a friend, like, she loves to tell me the shit that goes on with her life, right? But
Mhm.
sometimes it gets very exhausting of just like, oh yeah, my ex-partner did this, or like my partner's doing this, and they're just venting to me. And I had to put like a boundary with her of just like, I'm gonna allow you to vent for an hour. After that, no more. Because when people are venting, right, whether it's subconscious or not, there's a piece of me that says, oh, you can just do this to fix it. But maybe they're not there for a solution, they're just there to share. And I'm glad that they
Right.
can like lean on to me. But also it gets very exhausting to hear the same issues and same, like, concerns that you've had before, where I'm like, I want to be there and reciprocate and express how I'm genuinely feeling. But if it's the same, bro, I'm you
Mhm.
kind of just like flatline of like, man, it feels like I'm tolerating rather than actually enjoying your company.
I think I would wanna know more about myself, I guess, in terms of, no, I guess that is playing into wanting to know the future.
But
I think
okay,
I
you
would
can ask about
uh-huh.
the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely do that. Like, I guess not like, so much far into the future, but like to a certain extent, maybe like when I, where am I gonna be when I turn like 45? Kind of like that kind of thing, you know? I would go as far as that.
Ah.
And if they say dead, then you know what? Oh shit, my bad. But like, I mean to ask that far. I don't want to go far into it, or it's like, oh, there's nothing here.
Are you
You know what I mean,
sure?
though? But no, like, you're gonna do this, that, and that kind of thing, like that.
So.
That
Oh
is
my
one
god.
thing I would wanna ask.
Imagine they say, actually, you don't even live past like.
Oh my god, the way I would cry, like, "What do you mean?"
Would you cry? I
I
would
would
feel
cry for a
such
second,
relief.
be
I'm like,
like,
oh,
"Damn,
thank
dude."
God I don't have to worry about retirement.
I mean, true though. No, you got a point there.
So
Uh,
essentially, your question is like, well, how am I in the future? Or like, how is
mhm.
yourself in
Oh,
the future?
yeah,
Yeah.
how is myself in the future? Honestly, I would wanna know if I get married and who I get married to. Is it low key? I would
Cute.
kind of want to know if and when, or like if and who it is. Keeping
Joey.
guests like girl boss.
Yeah.
The
Oh
y'all always gets me.
my god. Like
But okay,
this.
is marriage something that you're like aiming for, or
Yeah, like
yeah?
it's been a thing like kind of on my mind, and like is am I going to, like, and if I am, like, who? And I don't know, like, the idea of, like, a family kinda it still scares me, but it's like, am I
Mm.
going to have kids in the future? That kinda thing? And
Ah.
I think it kinda sparked because, when you're on Facebook and, like, you have, like, your old high school friends and they're, like, buying a house, or they have kids,
Yeah.
or they're getting married or getting engaged, and you're like,
Where am I?
I'm here sitting with my freaking stream deck in the corner of my room trying to figure out
Bitch, at least you got a stream
grab
deck.
it.
All I use is my number pad. My number pad is you.
Oh my god.
So
Oh,
funny.
Jesus. But yeah, it's something that's like, I've been kind of curious about.
Hashtag about me, honestly. Yo, truly.
I and I realized this from my interview today. Like I have been living off my commissions for 2 years now. I have been
Oh,
slowly, yeah, living off of like my art for 2 years, and like
sexy.
it's yeah, it's surreal to like think about it because it's like I when I left my parents' place, it was not on good terms, and
Mm,
it was the way it was looked at was that my parents didn't think I was doing anything like with my art. And
yeah.
so to be able to do this for so long, let alone not just realize that 2 years has flown by like this, like, I'm very proud of myself for doing that, and
As you
yeah.
should.
Thank you.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you.
You really put a note, like a nuance to like the starving artist. I feel like when our family, and again I will say this as a blanket statement, so feel free to disagree with me, but like when it comes to our family, just like if it's not STEM, or if it's not like a professional position, that they expect you, especially with creative roles, that they expect you to just starve or like kind of die from it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
do you have no faith in me?
Pretty much, yeah, that's what it feels like, and it like to me, I'm very stubborn.
Mm,
So,
me too.
it like I
I'll drink
my
to that. I'll
parents
drink to that.
me too, me too, me too, cheers. I felt like my parents were coming to a point where, like, they were thinking like, "Oh, she's just gonna move back. Like, she's going to come back." Like, they were like, I'm
Oh.
gonna be, like, flat out honest, at one point too, they were threatening on, like, just taking my phone off completely off of, our contract,
Mm,
and as they were doing that and, like, giving me these, like, empty threats, I was like, "You can go ahead and do it. There's, like, no other way that we're gonna be able to, like, stay in contact." I didn't tell them that, but, like, in my head, I was thinking that, and it's like, they never ended up doing it, like,
yeah.
and I think they were still banking on the fact that I would still go back, but I feel like it was more healthy for me to be where I am now, and, like, I feel like this actually may have strengthened mine and my parents' relationship because I see them every now and then. I still love them very much because it's like without them, I wouldn't be here.
Mm,
I wouldn't have met anyone if it wasn't for them.
mm,
And the way I was raised to, like
mm.
nothing. Like I would not have anything if it wasn't for them. But at the same time too, it's like I have to create that distance between my parents and I. Otherwise, like it's just gonna get really toxic. And I don't want to make this whole thing where it's like I have to follow what my parents want me to do. Like I know they want what's best
Yeah.
for me, but what's
Mm.
best for me is what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, Jojo is preaching. Like, so how, when it comes to preserving yourself with family, how did you find that balance?
It's definitely not easy. I'm even like completely honest here. Like I've never heard my dad raise his voice at me ever in my life until like December of 2020. December,
Oh,
November of 2020. And it was probably like
wow.
the worst day of my life. If I'm
Mm.
quite like very, very honest. Like my dad has never raised his voice at me. He's known what I've been through. My parents were there when I was in the relationship that I was in high school. And so like my dad was never one to be really like upset with me until like the day that I like ended up leaving. And so like I
Mm.
think after that I was just kind of like, hey, I don't think they understood when I was telling them things that like the way that I felt, I don't think they were understanding that correctly. And so by creating that space between my parents and I, like I'm hoping, I'm like praying. I'm not really a religious person, but like, I'm hoping that like maybe they understood more of like where I was coming from and what I was doing, what I want to do
Mm.
and all of that. So, I don't know if I don't know if I answered the question correctly, but
I think you did.
yeah, we needed that space.
Yeah.
There's still a mutual love between my parents and I, but
Do you think that the space was the tool for you to repair the relationship?
I definitely think it was.
Mm.
Um I don't think my parents thought I was like self-sustaining because I was at home and I wasn't paying rent because it's just that's just how it is when you're at home sometimes. Like I know
Yeah.
that some parents do charge their kids for rent, but like I was like, lucky enough to have my parents like keep me there like and I was actually
For
that's when I
free.
also started streaming too. Was prior to
Mm.
that all also like, all of that happening. And
Ooh.
so like it's just a space all of it was just very much needed. I think they
Yeah.
understand things better, and when I'm around them, I can still explain to them what my accomplishments are and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, like when I got hired today, I told my mom, I called her and I was like, "Mom, like
Oh.
I got hired." And like immediately after, like, she was like, I'm very proud of you, like congrats and stuff." And it's like, I haven't had that much like praise in a very long time from my own mom. And it's like another one too before that was that I found out that my mom was actually talking to her oh my god. My mom was talking to her side of the family when she went to Guam, and she was telling her friends about all my art stuff. And like
She's so
after I
proud
found
of
out she was talking
you.
about that, yeah. It made me really happy because a lot of my mom's friends' kids really love art too, and then they like ended up seeing my stuff, and I was like, oh my god, they actually look up to me too.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that space is very much needed. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Yeah, I don't think I would have found that out until like my aunt mentioned it to me because I didn't know my mom talked about me. So, oh, yeah.
I'm so glad that they
Ooh.
can find pride in you.
Yeah, it makes me really happy. It's so funny too because my dad would call me from time to time, and he's like, "This is my first time." My parents, so they actually know that I VTube, which is really funny because
Cute.
I I showed them what I was doing, and what's really funny is that that was the first time they ever saw it, and they're like, they don't call me Joe. Obviously, I have like a family name, and they were like, okay, I'll tell you guys.
Daijojobu, how are you doing?
It'd be so funny. They were literally like, you have to patent this and like all this stuff. I'm like, you guys need to stop. Like,
Oh.
I appreciate that my parents think that I did this first, but they don't know. They don't know about the VTubing world. It's so funny. Oh my god. They're like, yeah, you need to make sure you put like a copyright on your name and stuff. I'm like, mom, dad, please, it's okay. Like It made me really happy because they were really into it, you know, at like some point. This was actually within the past like year and a half, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe my parents are actually they said trademark.
You, Joey.
Honestly, they really did.
I'm gonna fucking cry. No, but I'm glad that like you remedied that relationship with your family, and not just that, but like they're so proud of you.
It's surreal, honestly. I'm still trying to
Yeah.
process it, but wow. Okay. Wow. How the do I do this? I should set I'll set a 4-minute timer for myself so that way I don't. I am a very I feel like creative person since birth. Ever since elementary school, I picked up my first manga and I started drawing, right? Later on in life, I encountered a lot of really cool friends, a lot of cool people, and later in high school I tried to find my own self. Oh my god, I'm gonna do this for 4 minutes. And then a lot of events in high school have molded me to be the person who I am now. A lot of those things being like difficult relationships, difficult friendships, things also being finding what I am good at, finding or refining things that I had done in the past, aka art. I had taken about maybe 3-year gaps between doing art since I was in elementary school. So I have picked it up and I got my first tablet in middle school. I dropped it, came back in high school, dropped it again, and came back to it in high school. Yeah, it's weird, right? And so a lot of that now is shaped me to be who I am. I also have done a lot of I did dance in high school. That being, I used to be in color guard, if anyone knows who color guard is, not the ROTC one. I used to do performing arts. So I did a lot of things with rifles, sabers, with flags. We would do the performances on like field and we would do color guard competitions. I used to play clarinet for about a couple of months.
She's a Squidward,
I
Your
used to
Honor.
I'm Squidward. Can you hear my loud squeaking stuff? I have been I used to run track and fields and cross country in high school as well. So after I left color guard, I did athletics and I actually placed was I top 3, 4 something in track and field, but I used to run 800 meters. So you know what? The joke I always made with that is that like I enjoy running because I love running away from my problems. I loved running so much. I also when I graduated from high school, I ended up going straight to college. I moved out of the house and I went to a dorm at college. What did I do? I ran a 9 mile? Whatever 15K is. 15K? For it was like an annual thing that I started doing with my mom.
With your
And so
mom.
yeah, so that was like a fun hobby that I kept with my mom. I had the running bug for so long, and I honestly want to pick it back up again. Um, what is that? So that's college. I joined an organization in high school. Not high school, in college.
Wow.
And I had taken on it wasn't a board position, but it was more so I was a dance workshop head. So I was in charge of finding a person to teach dances. I would probably try to teach sometimes too. I only taught like once though, because I was always nervous about doing it. But that was primarily dance workshops. I joined a collegiate hip hop dance team.
She
and
really
I
is everywhere. Oh my god. Fuck Triple J. She's a triple threat. The fuck you mean? Sorry, continue.
No, you're good. You're good. I joined a collegiate dance team or like a hip hop dance team. So we did that for about a year, and then I ended up leaving. I ended up taking up a job on campus, and I was just doing like market stuff too. At one point, I ended up being like what was my title at this job? It was an operations supervisor. It was really fun. It was at a startup
Operator,
company.
please call me. I'll call you
Operator,
later.
let's go. One of the first times that I ever had like a really like high up position. I ended up
Mm.
leaving that and then I ended up doing Twitch. So after I left that job, that was actually not that great. I did it for my own good. I ended up leaving. I picked up Twitch and also picked up where am I? I ended up doing art. I ended up doing
Yeah.
art for the two
And it
years, and that's
Yeah,
how I
it
met all of you.
supported you for 2 years. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
very surreal, very cool. Went through a lot of stuff in the transition of doing so. Very well worth it. Things were mended, fixed. Um, I met a lot of really cool people through Twitch.
Mm.
A lot of cool people through just social media in general. Just the fact that people had faith in me doing their,
Mm.
media assets, and it's crazy to know that like based off of like things that I have built, like for me tweeting just random stuff on Twitter, like and building up like my presence and just like, I don't know, just beating people through that is just really funny because it's like I only have a select few that I have talked to that I do still talk to today, which is like Gio, Sammy, Joey, Shane. But it's just like stuff like that. I met everyone through that. It's weird because it's like I'm thinking about like the roller coaster that I've been through. It's like, I've been doing art like on and off for so long, and the fact that I just it is just part of who I am now is very
Mm-hmm.
crazy to think about, and it's like,
Mm.
there's a lot of hobbies too that I could lean back on too. Like I still do dance. Like I love freaking relearning K-pop dances and stuff and in my room and just for the fun of it, right? It's just things that I can just run back to, like literally whenever I wanted to. It's just, yeah, a lot of those things through my entire life that mold me to be who I am now. The reason why I love K-pop so much, the reason why I love R&B so much. It's just, yeah, it's me.